Hello guys, and welcome to the quick setup guide for the Resolve Colourist pack for the Elgato Stream Deck. In this video, we're going to download the Elgato software that we'll need to operate the Stream Deck hardware, and we'll open up the Resolve Colourist pack that you can purchase from my website, and we'll get it set up for the Stream Deck. So let's go across to the Elgato website, and we'll go to the downloads page on the top right hand side. Once we're here, we can scroll down, select our product. So we're going to select the Stream Deck. It's important to know that if you have the Stream Deck XL or the Stream Deck Mini, the Stream Deck profiles that I've made will not work for your device. I have made these profiles for a 15 key Stream Deck. So again, if you don't have this one, you can still buy the pack and use the icons if you wish, but the custom profiles won't match. Cool, so I'm going to select Stream Deck, make sure my OS is on the Mac, which it is, and I'm going to go down here and click download. I've actually already downloaded this software, so I'll go ahead, go up to my Spotlight and just type in Stream Deck and hit enter. So this is the Stream Deck software. If you've never used this software before, don't worry. Although it looks a little bit confusing, it's nice and easy. On the left hand side here are the 15 keys of our Elgato Stream Deck that we can customize, and we can customize them with all of these options that we have on the right hand side. If I open up the system options, for example, you can see that we can open up a website, toggle between two commands, activate a hotkey, and we can open up an application, just to name a few. If I drag a hotkey onto the key, it creates an icon and gives us some options down the bottom here that we can use to customize this command. For now though, we're going to go up to the default profile and go Edit Profiles, and this will take us to the Preferences menu. From here, we're going to import the Resolve Colourist pack into our Stream Deck software. And to do that, I'm going to need to go to my Resolve Colourist pack zip folder, which is what I got from my download from lukerosspost.com/store, and I'm going to expand this. Okay, so opening up this folder, you can immediately see that there's a macOS and a Windows OS version of this Colourist pack. Because I'm on a Mac, I'll double click the macOS, and everything that we need is in this folder. Starting from top to bottom, you can see that we have a couple of ReadMe guides and things that can get us up to speed with the contents of this pack. We'll explore that in a bit. If we toggle down the icons and go into the first profile that we have here and just preview this, you can see that we have all of the icons that we'll need for our first main profile. There are 168 icons, all organized into their own profile page, so you can go ahead and explore them. If you ever want to add any more icons or change any icons or customize it for your own, you can always go ahead and add more media into these folders here. But most importantly, we have a Profiles and Presets folder, which I'll go into. You can see that we have a Resolve preset and a Stream Deck profile folder. Now the Resolve preset is a Resolve keyboard preset, which we'll go into a bit later. But the Stream Deck profiles is what we want. We've got 11 profiles that are standalone profiles. But up the top here, we've got a master backup that contains all of the profiles within this one folder. I've given you guys the option here to import separate profiles, because if you do import the master profile backup, it will clear all of the other profiles from your Stream Deck system. So it doesn't keep any of your existing Stream Deck profiles. My advice is, if you've already got your Stream Deck really customized and set up to how you want it, I would import each profile one by one, and I'll show you how to do that. But because we're on a fresh blank Stream Deck, we're going to import this master profiles backup file and see how we go. So I'm going to jump to my preferences, and down the bottom here we have a little toggle. You can import the individual Stream Deck profiles using this import button, but I'm going to go to the backup all and restore from backup. When I restore from backup, you'll see that we can't actually select these profiles, we just have the option for this master backup. So we're going to go ahead and hit open. Here's the message to say that it will replace all of the profiles for this device. So if you have any other profiles that you've worked hard to customize and make your own, make sure to import the individual profiles instead. Okay, so now we're on our home page of the Resolve Colourist pack. If we go back up to our Profiles menu and hit Edit Profiles, you can see that we've imported the 11 profiles. If you have other profiles for other applications on your system, you could change the home page of this profile pack to automatically open when you open up DaVinci Resolve. I only use the Stream Deck for color grading, so I don't need to do that, and I'm just going to leave that on none. You can also make this your default profile if you want. And I'm going to go ahead and close the preferences. Importing it from the master backup means there's absolutely nothing for you to do on the Stream Deck software. Let's quickly explain the layout of this Resolve Colourist pack. Up the top here, we've got 5 shortcut keys that can be used to toggle through the various pages of Resolve. Down below here, we have our 10 profiles, and they can be thought of more as folders, so they contain shortcut keys that relate to whatever folder they're in. To swap between profiles, I can either manually click the key on the hardware, or I can go up to the toggle down menu and go into here. If you click on a hotkey, you can see that it has a title and an associated hotkey. If we want to remove this title, we can go to the title tab and turn off show title. I would recommend you get used to what all of the icons mean, make sure you're happy with the visual recognition, and then go ahead and turn the titles off. Again, if you prefer, you can leave them on. On every profile page, there's a switch profile button on the bottom right hand side, which will return us to our main profile. I'm going to tap this key on my Stream Deck hardware, and you can see that we jump back to our home profile. If I tap on the Shapes and Tracking button on my Stream Deck, it takes us to the Shapes and Tracking profile. And again, we've got all of our different shortcut keys for this page, which are all automatically assigned. And we have our Switch Profile button, which returns us back home. We'll explore every single profile in future videos, but for now, we're just going to go to the blank profile. And if you ever want to add your own shortcut key, you can go ahead, click and drag, and you can start adding and assigning whatever custom shortcut key that you want. If you want to remove anything, hit the delete key and hit delete, and it's gone. Again, navigating back home using the switch profile button here, we're back home. I'm going to go up to our preferences menu, and I'm just going to Command A to select all of my profiles and just delete them. And I'm just going to show you how to import a singular profile if you already had some established profiles on your Stream Deck. It's really nice and simple to import a profile. You just go to the toggle menu, hit import, and go ahead and click a profile to import. If I do this a couple of times, and escape out of the preferences, I'll show you one extra step that you'll need to do if you import the profiles in this way. When you import the profiles individually, you'll just need to make sure that all of the profiles are mapped together correctly. So for example, if I click the blank switch profile button, you can see that this profile will swap to the default profile, which is this. In fact, we can go up here, edit, and delete this profile, and exit there. So if we click the blank profile again, we want this profile to take us to the blank profile. And now if we click on the blank profile on our Stream Deck, yep, that's perfect, it's taken us there. Now we'll need to make sure that this switch profile button is mapped back to home. Even if it says it's mapped to home, you'll need to go ahead and just confirm it home for it not to be glitchy. Stream Deck doesn't like interfacing between multiple profiles when you import them in this way, so just make sure that you've gone ahead and clicked that and you'll have no issues. Now if we hit return home, it'll take us back home. We can do the same thing for the conform profile. We'll click on the switch profile button, go down to our profile and swap it to conform. These are all shortcut keys, so we don't need to change them, but we will need to change our switch profile button down the bottom right. And we'll go ahead and change that to home. Now that we've reselected that, we can click this button on the Stream Deck and it'll take us home. So that's the process you'll need to do for every profile when you import it. There's only 11 profiles, so it should only take you 5 minutes or so. There is one thing I did want to point out. So if I import the printer lights profile, not only do we have our return home switch profile on the bottom right, which we can change to home, but we have 3 additional profiles here. We have the full printer lights, the half printer lights, and the quarter printer lights. So if I go to my preferences and import them all, and I'll exit out of the preferences here. So you can see that we have a quarter printer lights, a half printer lights, and a full printer lights profile. And these 3 switch profile keys navigate between them. So what we'll need to do is go ahead and set each profile down here to full, to half, and to quarter. And we'll also need to do that for the next page. So if we go to the next page, again, these are fresh new switch profile buttons, and we'll need to make sure that they're all mapped to their appropriate profile. It's a little bit annoying because we'll need to do that for the half printer lights as well as the quarter printer lights profiles. But once you've done it, again, it only takes about 5 minutes. You won't need to do it again. We'll map this one to DVR home, and we're back to home. As you can see, it's a lot easier if you import the master backup because all of those profiles will be automatically set. But again, I do understand that some of you already might have quite a comprehensive Stream Deck setup and you don't want to override that. So just be mindful if you're importing individual profiles, you'll need to come in and make sure all of the switch profile buttons are mapping to the correct profiles. I'm going to go ahead, go edit profiles, remove all of these, and restore our master profile here, which will give us all of our profiles. The last thing we need to cover is our Resolve keyboard preset. So if we go to our documentation and open up the shortcuts guide, we can see all of the icons for all of the different profiles with their associated shortcut key. Now for the nodes profile, for example, you can see that the label selected node shortcut key and the delete current node shortcut key, I made a custom shortcut for those two commands. This means if you open up Resolve on your side, these commands might not be associated with these shortcut keys. Let's take label selected node, for example, and we'll go over to Resolve, and we'll open up our keyboard customization. We're on the standard DaVinci Resolve keyboard preset, and if I type label, you can see that there's no keystroke associated with label selected node. This is what the Resolve keyboard preset is designed for. If we go over to Resolve, go up here and we import this Resolve keyboard preset and hit open, and we can name this whatever we like. We'll name this the Resolve Colorist pack and hit OK. You can see that now we've got this loaded, this keystroke has been assigned to the correct keystroke. Again, I've tried to build in as much flexibility as I can with this. So if you don't want to import the keyboard preset into Resolve, if you've already customized your Resolve customization in a way that you like, all you'll need to do is go through the shortcuts guide PDF and make sure that the custom shortcuts are mapped to something in the Stream Deck software. If they're not, you can go ahead and change those mappings to whatever you want. Again, I'd just like to stress, if you import the Resolve Colorist keyboard preset from that folder, everything will link automatically and you won't need to do anything. But if you prefer not to import the Resolve keyboard preset, you can use the shortcuts guide PDF and map whatever custom shortcuts that you'd like to whatever key. And guys, that covers it. That's the full Resolve Colorist pack setup guide. So again, make sure you have a read through some of the documentation, import your Stream Deck profile, either the main profile backup or import profile by profile. And of course, make sure that your Resolve keyboard presets match up with the profiles. If you want to do this nice and easy, go ahead and import this keyboard preset into Resolve and everything will match automatically. Otherwise, use some of those guides to make your own custom tweaks. And again, the great thing about this pack is you can make it your own. Please let me know if there's any suggestions that you have or any issues that you find. I'm available on email. I'll be reading the comments below, so if you have any feedback or issues or anything like that, pop them in the comments below and I'll be able to help out.